Good evening and welcome to the Legends Edition on KBC Channel 1. I am Fayaz Qureshi. Stay tuned for our Living Legends segment. Our guest tonight is artist, musician and advertising creative Sam Madoka. Our sign language interpreter for tonight's edition is Byron Abuli. First, a quick look at the highlights for tonight's bulletin. Stabilizing Eastern DRC, President William Ruto calls on East African community leaders to urgently address the conflict.
The burden of cancer is rising over the past few decades, and it's projected to get even higher.
Cancer screening apathy, late detection termed as the leading cause of increased mortality as the World Cancer Day is marked. And hail the new champions. Faith Kipyegon and Charles Leclerc win the 2023 Sirikwa World Cross Country Tour. Welcome back. President William Ruto has called on leaders from the East African community to urgently address the conflict in the Eastern Democratic Republic of the Congo. President Ruto says the situation remains fluid as civilians bear the brunt of the conflict.
It was the 20th extraordinary meeting of the heads of state in Bujumbura, Burundi. The meeting, convened by the chairperson of East African Community, Evariste Ndayishimiye of Burundi, was meant to evaluate the security situation in Congo. This is amidst increased hostilities between communities in the east of Congo and a diplomatic spat between Rwanda and the Democratic Republic of Congo, with Kinshasa accusing Kigali of sponsoring the war. President William Ruto calling on leaders from the East African community to deal with the unfolding crisis urgently and decisively. President Ruto says the situation remains fluid as civilians bear the brunt of the conflict, with at least 27 million people in acute need of humanitarian aid. The president has also called for the immediate convening of the Nairobi 4 session of the Inter-Congolese consultations as a follow-up on Nairobi 3. He has commended armed groups which have come forward to express willingness to lay down arms and participate in the program on disarmament, demobilization, reintegration and community stabilization. John Jacob Curia, Legends Edition.
Reluctance to early cancer screening has been termed as one of the leading causes of late detection and increased mortality among Kenyans. Consequently, health experts called upon Kenyans to embrace frequent testing to avert deaths attributed to cancer. Data from the National Institute of Cancer in Kenya indicates that 70% of cancer patients succumb to the illness, with only 30% surviving, a situation health experts say can be reversed.
In the country's capital, Kenyans in their number turned up to mark the World Cancer Day. Here, health experts debunking the myths about human papillomavirus as well as its vaccine.
One of the main challenges facing us in this fight against cancer is the low uptake of screening and early detection services for the most of cancers. Less than 15% of the women in the reproductive age group have ever gone for cervical cancer screening, while only 10% of our women have ever gone through clinical breast examination from a healthcare provider. We must put greater effort towards screening and early detection to reverse this unfortunate situation.
Barriers and inequalities that exist include misinformation, stigma, inadequate infrastructure, untrained personnel, and lack of equipment. These have led to unfortunate situation we find ourselves in, whereby most cancer patients, even where they are within the healthcare system, are diagnosed at late stages resulting in poor treatment outcomes and lower survival rates.
The same clarion call was echoed in Meru County, with women between the age of 25 and 65 advised to embrace cervical cancer openly.
Wote wajitokeze hii wiki yote kuanzia hata leo ama hata kesho. Hii mwezi yote watu wajitokeze waende wapimwe. Na ile kitu tunajua kama watu wenye wataalamu wa ugonjwa wa kansa katika Meru Hospice, na ile masomo tumepitia, kansa ikijulikana mapema huwa inapona.
After hearing from the nurses, our journey leads us to Gladys Kairigo's home. Gladys suffers from cervical cancer and has been receiving palliative care from Meru Hospice. The burden of treating cancer skyrocketing with each passing day. Gladys wants the government to help eradicate the menace. According to the records at Kenyatta Hospital, 15% of cancer patients come from Meru County, a figure which is causing an alarm. Amid concerns of making cancer treatment affordable, Mary Wathanu, a blood cancer survivor, says cancer is not a curse.
Matibabu si eti ni rahisi, ni expensive, na ningetaka encourage familia ambao wameambiwa mgonjwa wao kuna saratani anaweza tibiwa na wanaweza tembea safari salama, kwa sababu wakati mgonjwa ameambiwa kuna kansa haijalishi kwa which stage, kwa sababu hata kwa stage 1 ama stage 4 lazima huyu patient atataka kushughulikiwa vizuri.
Kama uko hapa na unaogopa kupimwa ati ukipata kansa utakufa, sisi tumeishi na unaweza ukaishi pia wewe. Mimi kansa nilipimwa mara ya kwanza 2007 na niko hai hadi leo. Kwa hivyo matibabu inafanya na tunaweza tukapona. Mimi sijaenda India, sijaenda South Africa, nimetibiwa hapa Kenya.
It's good to understand that all of us at some point we are candidates of cancer. And when one of your members is affected, please come close to them, talk to them, be there for them, because you never know about tomorrow.
Health Cabinet Secretary Susan Akumincha, while opening the Regional Cancer Treatment Center at Garissa Referral Hospital, said the region's prevalence with cancers of the head and the neck and urged Kenyans to go for early screening.
Here in Garissa, we mostly see cancers of the head and neck, and I am concerned that they presenting very late to our facilities. I know that we can change this experience.
Lifestyle being a contributor to the rising cases of cancer, Kenyans have been urged to avoid multiple sex partners to lower the risk of transmitting HPV virus, as well as observe a balanced diet and embrace indigenous foods like yam, cassava and arrowroot, which are rich in nutrients.
The rise in the number of cases of cancer is due to aging populations arising from improved life expectancy and the increasing adoption of risky behavior such as consumption of unhealthy diets, lack of physical exercise, harmful use of alcohol and tobacco use. It is noteworthy that the health system capacity to detect and to diagnose cancer cases has been progressively growing, leading to higher proportions of the population being able to access cancer diagnostic services.
Kwa sasa tunaendelea tu bado na ratiba yetu.
For Legends Edition, I'm Gladys Mungai.
The weatherman says the high temperatures currently being experienced countrywide will continue for the next couple of days. According to the Kenya Meteorological Department, long rains are also expected to start in March, but the intensity will be reduced.
It is hot in Nairobi.
Lakini sasa hivi unaona kwa sababu nao joto limeenda juu sana, bado lazima ninywe lita 3.
Siwezi kaa more than 10 minutes kasi sijakunywa maji. Sasa zingine nasikia kaa naweza faint. Hiyo job le imewaka ni normal.
Una sweat, so lazima uconsume maji mob.
The hot weather phenomenon is being experienced countrywide.
What normally happens is that when the temperatures are very high during the day, that heat is stored by the ground, whatever nature of the ground. And you may not expect the temperatures to go very low during the night. Long wave radiation is experienced during the night, and it may still be lingering on during the night and that is where the temperatures are that high.
Long rains are expected between March and May.
It's likely to be either just about average or below normal to below normal. That's the expectation for the long rains season for year 2023.
High temperatures are being experienced as the country grapples with drought. The famine situation could worsen as temperatures soar.
Between now and the time we expect the onset of the rains, it's quite a long period. In our records, it suggests that we've not had a drought situation this long for about 40 years. Seeking alternative sources of water, even if it means ferrying water from far, buying from far, and seeking support.
23 counties are adversely affected by drought, including Garissa, Lamu, Narok, Tana River, Makueni, Tharaka Nithi, West Pokot, and Nyeri.
As the country continues to register high temperatures in different regions, the weatherman now says that this state of affairs will continue for the next couple of days. Frederick Parsayo, reporting for Legends Edition, Nairobi.
Over the last few days, Nairobi has played host to Nairobi Nexus 2023, a public symposium on space science. This is a collaboration between the 100-year Starship initiative that is marking its 10th anniversary and the Kenya Space Agency. The conference has brought together space explorers and scientists led by Dr. Mae Jemison, the first woman of color to go to space. And as Pauline Nasimiu reports, the conference aimed at exploring opportunities for the business of space exploration and how that can impact life on Earth.
In one of the hotels in Nairobi,
and solitary bird was in despair.
Friend birds.
Yeah.
Friend birds.
100-year Starship hosted Nexus 2023 that brought together space explorers and scientists.
Every bird suffered.
With the theme When Space, Purpose and Culture Collide, the first woman of color to go into space, Dr. Mae Jemison, talked about the importance of culture and its influence in our lives.
Nothing is designed without an influence from the culture of the person who's creating it. The only way we can achieve something as significant is by drawing on all the experiences, all the talent of everyone in this world.
So many times people think space exploration is all about astronauts, but it is also a platform for business opportunities.
If you look at the rockets, it's the manufacturing of the materials that go around the rocket. Materials, you ever see people in the white suits, right? In spacewalks? Somebody made those. That's material, that's clothing.
With space exploration, mankind is able to solve the greatest challenges on the planet.
But our greatest challenge right now is to respect one another, to appreciate one another, and understand that we all have to play a role on this earth. You know, what space can bring to us, I think, I'll just say is hashtag Earthlings, that we recognize that we're all a part of this incredible planet. And for generations to come, we will be here.
Even though space exploration may not solve climate change, but it will help detect it at an early stage.
So when we look at space exploration, one of the great things is that you get a view of large areas of the world. And you can come back around and revisit that same geography to understand the impact of changing climate.
The gates moved. It opened.
Nexus 2023 is the evolution of public symposium that creates an experience and transdisciplinary activities that stretch attendees' imaginations.
All over in the world, there was agitation.
Pauline Nasimiu for Legends Edition.
Security Committee of Kamukunji Sub-County in Nairobi has held a meeting with locals on the need for cooperation with authorities in taming crime. The move coming hot on the heels of increased cases of insecurity in the area that has left locals nursing injuries. More of these and other stories in the county's roundup.
Following increased cases of crime targeting residents of Isli in Nairobi, Moso, the border operators, the area security apparatus has moved in to tame the wave of insecurity. Speaking after a security meeting with the border riders, Kamkunji Deputy County Commissioner James Kamau called on all the stakeholders to join hands in strengthening the security in the area.
We have agreed with all the security stakeholders that we cultivate peaceful coexistence, we enhance our policing, at the same time we enhance our foot patrols, be it in all our informal villages and the other areas.
In Mombasa County, Jomvu constituency member of parliament Badi Twalib has directed that no child in his area should pay any fee when joining junior secondary schools. This was after a section of parents from Badi Twalib Junior Secondary School raised complaints to his office over alleged allegations that a local school was charging money for lockers and other facilities.
Kulingana na haya ambayo nimesema hapa leo, 8,500 ikiwa imeregeshwa well and good, na hizo zote ambazo mimi nimesema, hiyo 8,500 yako na 500 ndio itatengeneza hapa.
And in Nyandarua County, Principal Secretary in charge of Technical and Vocational Education, Dr. Esther Moria, says there is a need for a different approach in grading students pursuing technical courses. Dr. Moria says students should be examined on skill in addition to sitting for written examinations and approved for graduation.
You are only going to graduate when we are confident that you are skilled. Why? Because I am under pressure, Governor, to be able to showcase the nationally certified and internationally certified skilled graduates.
Elsewhere in Kiambu County, the Hungarian embassy has partnered with St. Paul's University to build an ICT hub at the university that will support the learners on software creation. Speaking at St. Paul's University Student Amphitheatre during a public lecture, the Hungarian ambassador to Kenya said the hub would attract even the international community to Kenya in search of job opportunities.
We have started a journey with the Embassy of Hungary here in Kenya. 3 months ago, we hosted their staff, Madam Caroline Kithama, who came and gave us full details about scholarship opportunities in Hungary, all the way from the bachelor's degree to PhD. So we are encouraging our students to apply.
Elsewhere in Moranga County, the new Kenya Medical Training College Kangema campus will be operational before the end of this year. This is according to the KMTC chairman, Ambassador Zachary Muburi, who led a delegation of board members and KMTC senior management to inspect the new facility.
We got a lot of support and we agreed in the areas in which the governor and the county government is going to play a major role in partnering with us, with KMTC, so as we can have a structured engagement that will see the growth of the institution in this county.
In Narok County Governor Patrick Olentutu has said he will clear the county's name from the top corrupt counties by ensuring that all the departments perform their duties in a transparent way.
Tuliona ripoti walisema ya kwamba between 2019 to 20 tulikuwa rated number 1 mambo ya corruption. Lakini sisi kama team mpya, mnajua wote nimechaguliwa tu juzi. Sisi wote kuna vile tumehapa ya kwamba kila mtu apigane na mambo ya corruption. Mambo ya kupeana pesa ati upewe services, hiyo tumekataa kama county government na pia national government.
For Legends Edition, I'm Abdulaziz Abeid.
It's time for a short break, and we'll be back in a short while. Stay with us.
Commodities Fund is a government agency under the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development mandated to provide low-cost financing to crop sector in Kenya. The fund informs clients, stakeholders and members of the public in general that we have relocated our Nairobi offices from Railways headquarters to Utalii House 11th floor along Utalii Street off Uhuru Highway. As from 1st February 2023, our new postal address is Commodities Fund Utalii House 11th floor, Utalii Street off Uhuru Highway, PO Box 52714, code 00200 Nairobi, Kenya. For farms operations, agro-processing, value addition, working capital, access loans at an interest rate as little as 3% per annum.
Nimesahau kucheza Loto Moto. Usisahau kucheza Loto Moto. Shinda milioni 2 kila siku kwenye M-Pesa. Chagua lipa na M-Pesa. Paybill number 757070. Account number andika neno Loto. Kisha weka star na nambari yako ya simu. Weka kiwango chochote cha pesa kuanzia shilingi 50 hadi 2000.
Aulali.
Lipa kisha subiri draw. Welala. Nitakutimizia ndoto zako. Milioni 2 usiamini. Ujumbe huu umeidhinishwa na BCLB.
Maisha ni mafupi, hivyo si vyema kumaliza muda mwingi katika malumbano. Hesabu baraka zako, wathamini rafiki zako na tabasamu ili udumishe amani.
Kupata maisha, bonyeza *811 *816 hash. *811 *816 hash.
Jumapili hii kwenye runinga ya KBC, ungana naye Askofu Michael Wanderi wa kanisa la Christian Foundation Fellowship Kiambu kuanzia saa 1 hadi saa 2 asubuhi.
Ningetaka nikwambie, our Jehovah God, because the Bible says he is the same yesterday, today and forevermore. He is able to take you to a place of abundance. He is able to take you to Rehoboth in the name of Jesus Christ.
Kipindi ni neno la neema, ukiletewa naye Askofu Michael Wanderi wa kanisa la Christian Foundation Fellowship Kiambu. Usikose.
Unclaimed financial assets include bank accounts, insurance policies, and other financial assets belonging to people just like you. Don't let your assets remain unclaimed. Take a few minutes to check and see if you have any unclaimed financial assets.
Najua rafiki atakuwa naye kila kitu na atakuwa anakusaidia, anakufariji na anakupatia mawaidha.
Eleza muktadha wa dondo hili.
Tukio linatokea baada ya ridhaa na Mwangeka kutoka uwanja wa ndege wa Rubia.
Tambua mbinu za lugha iliyotumika kwenye dondoo.
Changanya ndimi pale ambapo anasema deconstruction, anazungumza Kiswahili na bado anazungumza King'ong'o hapo.
Umetenda ya ajabu maneno.
Simply visit www.ufaa.go.ke, dial *361# or visit Huduma Center near you. Labda umeomoka na ujui? The Unclaimed Financial Assets Authority. Receive, safeguard, reunite.
Welcome back. The National Environment and Management Authority, backed by Murang'a County Security Team, has closed 4 quarries operating near the Thika-Sagana railway line. The quarries, established on land bordering Del Monte Farm, are said to be putting the recently rehabilitated railway line at risk of collapsing.
Murang'a County Commissioner Karuku Ngumo said that unscrupulous people invaded the land in Kihiumwiri and established quarries to mine construction stones without the required documents. The mining activities are compromising the stability of the nearby Thika-Sagana railway line that cost millions of shillings to rehabilitate.
Tuliweza kupata ripoti ya kwamba kuna watu wanafanya kware katika reli, na hiyo inahatarisha sana usafiri katika reli inatoka Nairobi mpaka inaenda Sagana mpaka Nanyuki. Kwa hivyo tumeweza
tukakagua hizo quarry ziko pale, tukapata ya kwamba hasina license, hasina lolote lile.
Tuko tunaangalia haswa compliance kwa sheria za mazingira, na tukapata zile nyingi ambazo ziko huku hazina leseni kutoka NEMA, na kwa hivyo tumeweza kuzifunga.
Previous inspections by a multi-agency team comprising officials of the National Environment Management Authority and Murang'a County Security have led to the closure of similar mines for non-compliance.
Hata ukitaka kuweka nyumba hapa lazima uwe na approval ya serikali. Hata ukitaka kuweka nyumba hapa lazima
hizi nyumba zote ziko hapa, let me tell you. Nusu ya hizi nyumba wako na title na nusu hawana, kwa sababu hiyo ni delay ya serikali. It is not our delay. Sio makosa yetu.
Area residents have been urged to conduct due diligence before embarking on such activities.
Kuna leseni ya ukaguzi wa ama utathmini wa zile athari za kimazingira. Waje walete ripoti, tutaikagua, na tukiona kwamba inafaa tunapeana leseni, na ndio mtu aweze kufanya kazi akifuata sheria.
Nancy Okware, Legends Edition.
I'll now hand you over to Topi Liambila, who is all set with the latest in sports.
Alonso, good evening and welcome once again to the sports segment of the Legends Edition. I'm Topi Liambila. Now, double world and double Olympic champion Faith Kipyegon and national cross-country champion Charles Lockyer are the champions of the 2023 Sirikwa World Cross Country Tour after winning their respective senior, women and men races today at the Lobo Village, Uasin Gishu County. Samuel Kibathi Wanjiru and Lucy Nduta won the junior races.
World Olympic and Diamond League winner Faith Kipyegon's speed was simply unbearable for the large field as she won the 2023 Sirikwa World Cross Country Tour. Kipyegon crossed the finish line alone in 33 minutes and 51 seconds, a whole 1 minute and 2 seconds ahead of Jacqueline Jepkoech, who was second, while Zena Jemutai took bronze in 35 minutes and 9 seconds. Charles Lockyer managed the heat in Eldoret to emerge the senior men's champion in 30 minutes and 15 seconds. Ahead of Josephat Kiprotich, who was second, as Dennis Kipngetich settled for the bronze medal. Samuel Kibathi Wanjiru dominated and won the men under 20 years 8-kilometer race, clocking 24 minutes and 21 seconds to slightly edge Kevin Kiprop, who was second in 24 minutes and 41 seconds, while Gideon Kipngetich had to make do with the bronze position 5 seconds behind. Lucy Nduta held off stiff rivalry from Maureen Jepkoech to win the junior women race in 21 minutes and 14 seconds, with her close rival Jepkoech settling for second position in 21 minutes and 17 seconds, while Deborah Jemutai finished a distant third.
Former Kenya Premier League champions Gor Mahia boosted their chances of reclaiming the league title this season after defeating Nairobi City Stars 1-0 at the Kasarani Stadium. The Benson Omalas Chargers now top the league table with 27 points after 12 games. Nairobi City Stars is one place above the relegation zone at position 15 with 11 points. Meanwhile, Umar Kasumba's 45th minute goal handed Bandari a 1-0 win over Talanta FC at the Kasarani Annex Stadium. In matches, host Tusker were held to a 1-1 draw by Kariobangi Sharks at the Ruaraka Stadium, while Sofapaka thrashed Wazito 1-0. KCB humbled Badara United 2-1 at the Kasarani Annex. And now we take a break, and when we come back, the rest of the sports stories this evening. Don't go away.
Nimesahau kucheza Loto Moto. Usisahau kucheza Loto Moto. Shinda milioni 2 kila siku kwenye M-Pesa. Chagua lipa na M-Pesa. Paybill number 757070. Account number andika neno Loto. Kisha weka star na nambari yako ya simu. Weka kiwango chochote cha pesa kuanzia shilingi 50 hadi 2,000.
Aulali.
Lipa kisha subiri draw. Welala. Nitakutimizia ndoto zako. Milioni 2 usiamini. Ujumbe huu umeidhinishwa na BCLB.
Stop searching in wrong places. Billions in unclaimed cash and other assets are here for you. Unclaimed financial assets include bank accounts, insurance policies, and other financial assets belonging to people just like you. Don't let your assets remain unclaimed. Take a few minutes to check and see if you have any unclaimed financial assets. Claiming your assets is easy. Simply visit www.ufaa.go.ke, dial *361# or visit Huduma Center near you. Labda umeomoka na ujui? The Unclaimed Financial Assets Authority. Receive, safeguard, reunite.
Now, two-time Indian champion Adil Ashok consolidated her lead at the magical Kenya Ladies Open as the third round came to a close at the par 73 Vipingo Ridge Baobab course. Meanwhile, the Kenya Tourism Board has committed to use sport as a platform to market Kenya as a preferred destination for the world.
After an explosive start on day one, two-time Indian Olympian Aditi Ashok carded a bogey-free round of 4 under par 69 to gain a 6-shot lead at the close of round 3 of the magical Kenya Ladies Open that is being played at the par 73 Vipingo Ridge Baobab course in Kilifi County. Ashok has a total of 13 under par 206 heading into tomorrow's final round. Thailand's April Angurasanare is second on 7 under par 212, while Englishwoman Kara Gaynor is third on 4 under par 215. The lone Kenyan to make the cut, leading amateur Naomi Wafula, is joined 55th on 14 over par 233 after carding 5 over par 78 today.
I had a lot of support out there. Even the players I was with, they were like, oh, you have really great supporters. And one of them was like, Emma was saying, I wish she plays with me tomorrow again because of all the supporters, and I'm so grateful.
Meanwhile, the Kenya Tourism Board has committed to using sport as a platform to promote Kenya as a choice destination for visitors from across the globe. They are using the magical Kenya Ladies Open and the magical Kenya Open scheduled for March to achieve this.
It's not just about sporting. When you're sporting, you're actually living your life, and that's your profession, but you also have time for leisure, and you have time to connect with the world, and you have time to enjoy what is in your vicinity. And therefore, I want to welcome the world to Kenya.
The magical Kenya Ladies Open comes to a close tomorrow. It is the opening round of the Ladies European Tour and has a prize fund of 300,000 euros.
On the volleyball scene, former league champions, the Kenya Prisons men's volleyball team stepped up training the prison staff training college grounds ahead of the second leg of the National League set to be played next weekend at the Nyayo National Stadium. Meanwhile, youngster Dennis Sokon has linked up with the team after completing prison's paramilitary training.
Prison's Kenya men's volleyball team is undergoing rigorous training at the Prison Staff Training College grounds under the watchful eye of veteran tactician David Lungaho. The team is targeting a good run this season after failing in their quest to recapture the league title during the national playoffs. Coach David Lungaho says the team of 20 players trains for 3.5 hours daily.
Our team started well the first leg in Kapsabet, winning against TP, and we want to extend the league. We know that it's going to be a big challenge, but we are prepared well, and we are hoping for the best results.
Tumejitayarisha kwa mazoezi kwa hili tuko naye, tumejikaza, lazima tung'ang'ane tushinde hii points 9. Kwa sasa kwa sawa na tumetayarisha, jukumu yetu ni kuzoa pointi 9 zote.
Lungaho said they are currently sharpening their defense and blocking. Prisons Kenya humbled Administration Police by 3-1 in the first leg of the Kenya Volleyball Federation League held mid-January in Musorio, Nandi County. In the second leg of the league set for next weekend, the Prison Warders will face defending champions GSC on Friday, KDF on Saturday before taking on Viga County on Sunday.
And on the boxing scene, Emmanuel Muswahili of Nairobi B team silenced compatriot Timothy Daniel of Nairobi A team to win the minimum weight category as the curtains came down on the 2023 Boxing Federation of Kenya Novices Championships at the Umoja One Boxing Hall in Nairobi. Muswahili won the closely contested bout on points after a slow start in the opening rounds. Peter Emmanuel of Nairobi A humbled Sanchez Karani of Police on points to win the flyweight category, while Michela Cheng of Nairobi B won the women's 52-kilogram category after seeing off Faith Nafuna. Elizabeth Mine of Nairobi B defeated Jennifer Wanjiru to win the women 54 kg category. Brighton Osongo from Kajiado humbled Derek Njera of Police to win the lightweight category, while Lee Njorohio of Nairobi A team defeated Maurice Ouma to win the light welterweight category. Over 100 boxers took part in the 3-day event. On swimming, Kenya Swimming Federation, in conjunction with the private and international Preps and Sports Association, embarked on a digital journey of training team coaches and managers on the use of Swim Meet Manager. The seminar, which hosted coaches and team managers from across the country, aims at keeping them in the loop with the digital Meet Manager for swimming, which is the most widely used swimming management software in the world. The system has been used in several Olympic trials, junior Olympic trials, and national meets, as well as in local meets worldwide.
Coaches will get from this workshop here. They'll be able to send their event during a gala in a zip file formation, and they can also plan using the same software in providing techniques, swimming workouts. They can provide feedback for swimmers and feedback for parents through graph. They can tell if the swimmer is improving or not, and they can also compare one meet from another meet with this type of skill.
Jomo Kenyatta University of Kenya is leading with 24 points in the Kenya Kabaddi Men's Elite League, having played 4 matches at the Kasarani Gymnasium. In some of the matches played today, National Youth Service was beaten 44-24 by Kasarani Lions. The team has won only 1 match since the league began. Githurai Cheetahs bagged their 5th win of the league after handing Machakos University's 70-53 win. The overall winner of the month-long tournament, which culminates on the 28th of next month, will be awarded cash prizes and trophies. 2 bottom-place sides will be relegated, while 2 other sides will gain promotion to feature in the second leg of the Elite Championship, set to be held in May this year. The inaugural edition of the Nare Community Shield Soccer Tournament was launched today at the Kongoni Primary School in Nairobi. Organizers of the event, Terence Mutongerwa, says the main aim of the event is to promote soccer at the grassroots level. He said they are planning to launch similar tournaments across all the counties in the country. The winner will be rewarded with the Langata Community Shield as well as other prizes.
The main purpose for hosting this tournament was for us to get into the community, mingle with the community, and also understand the community that we're serving, and also the people we want to work with.
I think, as you all know, Kenyans we love football, and football it's one of the things which unite people. Whether you're a Muslim, you're a Christian, you're a pagan, you're Kikuyu, Swahili, Kamba. When it comes to football, we speak one language, and that's love for soccer.
We wanted to start with the grassroots, and we've been invited kindly by Mheshimiwa Adam for us to start. This is our first tournament in Kenya. The main focus is to travel the whole 47 counties, doing what we're doing, engaging with the community, and also understanding what the community is all about.
Tuko na wachezaji wenye bado ni wadogo, wako na future, ndio tunajaribu kuwapatia kidogo nguvu. Mimi mwenyewe ni former player Nakumatt FC. Nilikuja nikapata injury, so nimekaa nje karibu 4 years. But sasa ndo naanza kurudi, najaribu kusaidia wadogo wenye wanaanza kugrow sasa.
From handball, Ulinzi Sharks have moved the level on points with second place the Cereals on the National Ladies Handball League table after thrashing Rising Stars 60-12 goals in one of the league matches played today at the Nyayo National Stadium. The Sharks now sit joint second on 22 points, 6 points behind leaders Nairobi Water, who have taken command of the league despite playing 2 more matches. Ulinzi Sharks were in total control of their 12th encounter, scoring 27 goals and conceding only 3 in the first half of the game. Nothing changed in the second half as Sharks secured the win that moves them closer to league leaders Nairobi Water. In other matches played today, Navigators defeated Daystar 40-12, while Amazon lost 26-41 to Rangers. And to wrap it up on the international scene, James Alan Tarkowski scored the only goal as Everton beat Arsenal 1-0 at the Goodison Park in the English Premier League match, which was Sean Dyche's first match as manager. This is only the second time Arsenal have lost a league match this season since their loss against Manchester United back in September.
Loose ball, it's laid back for Partey. Campaign. Saka trying to get the better of Mikolenko. Got a feeling of an important battle. That's Eddie Nketiah. Oh, very quickly under huge defensive pressure. Trossard. Pickford getting his hands cleanly behind it.
And that was a wrap for the sports segment of the Legends edition. Files, it was quite a great bulletin, isn't it? I'm good to have you here again.
Fabulous bulletin. Sports was extremely interesting tonight. Shocking. Arsenal losing to Everton. 1-0. But it's their only second game in terms of a loss. Still 5 points ahead with a game in hand.
No, I can feel your pain and the pain of people like Austin who are die-hard, fans of Arsenal. But I think, it's like what you said earlier when we were talking, when we were having a banter, that, it's a good wake-up call for Arsenal.
It's good it's happened at this point in time. I can imagine my son-in-law, Asfar, who's a crazy fan. He must be devastated right now in the UK. But it's a good wake-up call.
Yeah.
And I think they'll pull their socks up.
Yeah, and because they're being too easy.
I feel they shouldn't have lost to Everton. I'd accept the loss to, Man City, Man U, but But the new managers brought some oomph.
Yeah, probably. And that wraps up our sports segment this evening. I'm Topi Nyambila, handing over to Fires.
Thank you very much, Topi. And after the break, we'll go to the Living Legends segment. And our guest tonight is artist, musician, and advertising creative Sam Madoka. Stay with us.
Unclaimed financial assets include bank accounts, insurance policies, and other financial assets belonging to people just like you. Don't let your assets remain unclaimed. Take a few minutes to check and see if you have any unclaimed financial assets.
Kimila, mtoto wa kijana ndio urithi boma ya baba yake.
Hapo ni kweli.
Wenye nyumba wako wapi sijawaona? Ndio hao unaona. Tayari ushabadilisha serikali. Inaitangwa hostile takeover.
Mlete fujo.
Lakini wakileta fujo, nayo.
Just the mention of that name alone in this house creates a lot of drama.
Simply visit www.ufaa.go.ke, dial *361# or visit Huduma Center near you. Labda umeomoka na ujui? The Unclaimed Financial Assets Authority. Receive, safeguard, reunite.
Kiswahili kitukuzwe.
Wanapania kuwa watangazaji siku za usoni, aghalabu KBC Channel 1 ipate wasomaji wa habari.
Na katika kijiji kimoja cha Sabina kumeweza kupatikana mwanaume wa miaka 26 kamuua mwanamke wa miaka 23. Biolojia iliweza kumchapa fizikia kwa goli 1-2. Biolojia imeimarika kuwa itaenda kucheza Uingereza.
Afadhali ukae peke yako kushinda ukuwe na marafiki waliokuhusisha kwa vitu yenye si nzuri.
Najua rafiki atakuwa naye kila kitu na atakuwa anakusaidia, anakufariji na anakupatia mawaidha.
Eleza muktadha wa dondoo hili.
Tukio linatokea baada ya ridhaa na Mwangeka kutoka uwanja wa ndege wa Rubia.
Tambua mbinu za lugha iliyotumika kwenye dondoo.
Changanya ndimi pale ambapo anasema deconstruction, anazungumza Kiswahili na bado anazungumza King'ong'o hapo. Umetenda ya ajabu, maneno yananikosa.
I'm tired of feeling like this. I have to go back to the way I was before I met him. And if I have to get out of here and be very far from him, then that's what I'll have to do.
You should have stayed in the past, Julio. And you're never coming back. You never had any children. Fabiola is mine.
And this only means that you're still connected to her. And that you're still her property.
Not a single person owns me, Malena. I had a first wife before. But you are my wife right now.
Then why don't you take that picture away and hang up mine instead? Why did you tell me that you'll take me with you, but no, you couldn't do it anymore? Well, if you both want to leave this house, then you both still have time. Little by little, I will become the only owner of this property.
Your bro is everything you told me he will be. Alafu ni mro safi.
Why do you passionately hate yourself?
I'm a one-woman kind of man, sawa?
Is this what they pay you for?
I can't live without her.
You can't? He's actually stalking me. Walichukua photocopy ama walichukua original?
Walichukua original.
Hiyo ni wizi. Mimi sitakubali kuwa na wife. Kwa kimila, mtoto wa kijana ndio urithi boma ya baba yake.
Hapo ni kweli.
Wenye nyumba wako wapi sijawaona? Ndio hao unaona. Tayari ushabadilisha serikali. Inaitangwa hostile takeover.
Mlete fujo.
Lakini wakileta fujo, nayo.
Just the mention of that name alone in this house creates a lot of drama.
Welcome to The Living Legends. I am Fayaz Qureshi. In today's edition of The Living Legends, we speak to somebody whose voice is heard on the KBC English service on Sunday afternoons. He's an artist, and one of his works dons the walls of the school he attended. Besides that, he can tell the story of Kenya's advertising landscape for the past 50 years. Our guest tonight is artist, musician, and advertising creative Sam Madoka. Sam, welcome.
Thank you, Faraz.
Absolute pleasure to have you on board The Living Legends.
Thank you very much.
So let's take you down memory lane. It's all about you. Tell us how it all started, your early life and education. Let's start from there.
I was fortunate. I was brought up in a good school. I went to Duke of York and then Lenana School.
Extremely fortunate.
Yes, very fortunate. I agree. And that's where really my life began, because I discovered I was an artist. I discovered my passion for music because I spent more time in doing those things more than anything else at school. And then, of course, as I got into the higher levels of school, I had to get into deciding what career I was going to do. And that's when really the challenge for me came in, because thinking I'm an artist, I thought that's all I'm able to do. But after obviously a lot of struggles with my parents about what I should do, what I shouldn't do, my father wanted me to be an architect or an engineer.
That's the typical mindset of parents, huh? That's what? Architect, doctor, engineer, accountant.
Absolutely. So I took the trouble to spend 3 months with each of those. And unfortunately, after I spent those 3 months with each one of them, I said to my dad, no, I don't really feel it. And he said to me, so what you going to do? And I said, I'm going to be an artist. And that's when he dropped the bad news that that's when he's going to stop paying for my education. My life was up to me.
So now, one of your long, enduring work is the painting of Libon Lenana.
Yes.
And that's on the walls of Lenana School.
Yes.
How were you commissioned to do this artwork, and what is its enduring legacy?
When I was at Lenana School, as the name changed, because I was there when the name changed from Duke of York.
From Duke of York to Lenana.
To Lenana School. Yeah. The challenge was, do we need to find Lenana, an image of Lenana? And I was given the rather unique position of having to paint the portrait. And this was a huge painting. And it's the first time I ever did an oil painting. So it was even though I painted, and that was my love, but I found it a fresh challenge, having to do oils of the man whose name braces this school.
Yes.
And that's when I did this huge portrait.
And I must say, it's an absolute classic.
It's amazing.
It's still hanging on the walls.
Yes.
And will continue for generations to come.
Absolutely.
And the name Sam Madoka will always be associated with it. Architecture was the first intention from your father's side,
yes,
but you were more inclined towards the arts,
yes, and
music as such, isn't it?
Well,
initially,
as being a young man at that time, you weren't too sure. But what happened then is after we agreed that I wasn't any good at engineering or architecture, I bumped into a relative who was involved in advertising. And he worked at Ogilvy and Mather, and he said, would you like to come and work with us? I had no idea what advertising was about. I was young. Yeah. I didn't know what it was all about. And I went into the advertising industry, and it's like it opened up a whole new world. I got into music, I got into painting and drawing. I moved out of painting and drawing and advertising because when I walked into that studio, there were 3 levels of guys. There was a guy who was under 20, there was a guy who was 30, there was a guy who was 40, and there was a guy who was 50. And I thought to myself, at 50, I don't want to be here.
Right. So this was straight after high school?
Straight after high school. Yeah. And I then said to my boss, listen, what else happens in this industry? And then I got the opportunity to work in every department. And when I got to radio and television, my mind was completely blown.
So by getting into the advertising industry, it actually opened other facets for you.
Completely. Completely.
And broadened your horizon.
My horizon completely.
In terms of arts, music.
Yes, yes. My love for music, even theater and everything. It just opened up a whole new ball game.
Interesting. Now tell us a little bit about the commercial aspect in terms of some classic commercial of the 70s that you produced.
You know, the 70s, when you're a junior artist, and I spent a lot of my junior life producing radio programs, producing radio spots, because you had European creative directors, and I was a junior at that time. So I didn't get involved much in that. So I spent the first 3, 4, 5 years doing radio programs, radio production, because that was my forte, as it were, at the time.
Right.
But when I started then getting into the writing and doing the creating the work, that's when I really got into the different areas of advertising.
So any classic commercial that comes to mind? Of the 70s and 80s?
We did a lot of Ketepa, I remember. We did Exide, Chloride. We did Diners Club. There were so many. It's difficult to remember them all, but a lot of them, the Ketepa commercials in particular, I was involved in a lot of Ketepa tea commercials and the whole range of teas that they did, because they were one of our clients.
Right.
Yes.
And the Diners commercial?
And of course.
Something special about that, right?
The Diners Club commercial was particularly unique because I had joined, but I was young and we're full of ideas and want to experiment as you are when you're young. And I got into a situation where I created this commercial where you sit on a chair and you fly through the sky.
That was very innovative for that era.
It was, but even the production of it was absolutely fascinating. You could actually pick a background and put it behind somebody in the studio. So for the Diners Club one, we went downstairs to the streets of Government Street, and we pointed the cameras to the clouds because what it needed was a cloud moving background.
Right.
And people were walking there, right? And people were walking past and looking at us and looking at the sky and thinking, what are they shooting in the sky? but that's how it happened.
Well, I should remember it. It was an amazing ad for that era.
Yes, it was. It was.
And at that time in Kenya, the primary consumer of TV and radio commercials was Voice of Kenya.
Yes.
Tell us, how did it work from an advertising agency, sending the commercials over, or were you doing it jointly with them? Tell us more about it.
From an ad agency, what used to happen in those days, they were very strict. You didn't shoot commercials, you didn't record commercials until they saw your script, approved it, stamped it, and said you can record it. So everything had to go through script research and approval before you even went into the studio and recorded it.
And that was both for radio and TV?
Absolutely. And they could say, we don't like what you've said here, please change this is not a proper word to use. And of course, I mean, it was sensitive because the media was sensitive. It was the main station. They were very protective of ethics. They thought about any loose words that implied anything else were not...
and this was specifically Voice of Kenya?
Voice of Kenya, yes. They didn't allow it to go out in the air.
How long did this continue? And at what point did this strict rule change, where more flexibility came towards you? The agency.
Well, it took a while. It took a long while, because while there was only one major radio channel, TV, radio, KBC running that, they were very strict. But the minute that the media started to open up, then they began to loosen up their hold on the details, wanting to see scripts before you, because there were too many stations now.
Right.
And that changed the whole culture. But the beautiful thing about what KBC was doing was ensuring that everything was palatable, everything was something that was acceptable culturally, faith-wise, anything that was important to the culture. They looked after that, and that was amazing.
Now, another of your passions is music, and you had these programs. This Is It, which was extremely popular. Our version of Top of the Pops, a reference for the latest pop hits.
Yes.
That was a huge success. Yes. And of course, Ring Us Up, the charity auction that used to run over Christmas. But before we go deeply into Ring Us Up, tell us more about This Is It, because I think that was very close to you. Isn't it? You loved it.
Yes, I loved it. Again, it happened later on in life, because for me it was an opportunity to get on television. And because, again, you didn't have these channels available to you on the screen or on your computer, for that matter.
Right.
It was an opportunity to get a show that featured international music. And I got this wonderful opportunity with the studio that I was recording with, for them to bring in special music for me. And the music that I played on This Is It was unique to the show. And it had a great following, because there weren't many shows like it.
It was the latest pop hits, right?
Yes, latest pop hits.
Like I said, it was our version of Top of the Pops.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, and then of course, you can tell us about Ring Us Up then, and also radio.
Yes.
You did loads of shows for radio as well.
Yes, I did a lot of shows for radio, because being a young person, when I joined the advertising industry, I thought there's got to be growth, but it can't be on the main area of communication. So I said to my bosses, listen, I would like to do radio programs, sponsored programs, so that clients can own their own communication materials.
Right.
And it worked. I was doing 4, 5, 6 programs a week, sometimes 4 days in a week. I was recording nothing but radio programs.
So you used to produce them and send them to KBC?
Yes. Of course, and of course, again, in those days they would receive the tapes a week in advance, play the tapes, and if there are things, words said, or anything that didn't sound proper, they would say, take this off, otherwise we don't air it.
Wow. Strict guidelines.
Very, very strict, very strict.
And you're back on KBC.
Yes, I'm back.
After a long time.
It took some doing, because once you've stopped and you wait for another 10, 15, 20 years, you think, oh, I can't do it. But they managed to get me back, so I do a program on Sunday.
It's a very popular program called Easy Sunday.
Easy Sunday,
I listen to it all the time. It's a really good program.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So now, let's talk about Ring Us Up. The auction program.
Yes.
Did you enjoy it? Very close to your heart, because you raised lots of funds for the Disabled Society of Kenya.
Yes. No, I think that the objective of it was so great.
Yes.
It was great to be part of a show that actually raised funds for other people, and it felt really good. And it brought your involvement with different professionals yourselves, different clients, different areas.
Yeah.
It was such an amazing show, and because it was recorded live, it was electric, because you didn't have time to rehearse.
Yes.
You run with this show for the next 2 hours, and you run as it is.
Yeah.
You didn't have
because the bids would be coming in.
Yeah, everything.
You need to update everything.
Everything, yes. And your clients would be coming in, the commercials would be coming in. You were just running as is. It was a first experience in actual broadcast.
As you reflect back,
yes,
any special moments in your amazing career in terms of advertising, being an excellent artist, musician? Something special that you can recollect or comes to mind?
You know, as one grows up, you tend to move on instinct, as it were. If you thought, this is nice, this is interesting, let me do it. Because you're young also, you've got nothing to lose.
Right.
So I've done so much in terms of movies. I've actually done some movies that were shot here locally. Radio programs, of course, that's another one. And starting my own music show here. It's just so unique. It's very difficult to describe it.
Yeah.
And it's an opportunity that you get that doesn't. You can't set pace, or you can't say this is how you do it. For me, it was opened up. An open door, and I just went into it, and I tried this, and I tried that, and I tried that, and I just kept going.
People that may have inspired you over the years, you've achieved so much. Maybe family, as such,
yes,
or a certain person that you really would like to say that man was there right through with me, or that person as such.
There were a lot of radio presenters that inspired the radio programs that I did. Unfortunately, I can't remember all of them. But there were a lot of them on KBC General Service that were really smooth, well-spoken, fast-spoken, that really inspired me. And I followed in their footsteps to be able to create my show so that it met the standards that they set.
And you are an absolute legend. I know you don't like that name because that makes you sound old, but you are a legend.
But I am old anyway.
Now, let's talk about the Phoenix Theatre.
Yes.
A bit about your acting days.
Yes.
You're quite passionate about that as well, right?
Yes. Again, it's one of those things that you did, and you know, I'm thankful to God for the gifts and the talents that He's given me. The act of loving, really, the whole process of acting on stage was developed by the Phoenix. The minute I started getting into radio, I got onto theatre and spent years in different acts, different things at the Phoenix, different shows. But may I say the one that really hit for me was we did a show called Sizwe Banzi is Dead, which was based on the South African situation then, the racial situation. And it's these two guys who get caught up in a cell and live in a cell and talk about their experiences. And it was such a powerful play.
And that's very close to your heart.
Very close to my heart, because again, for the first time for me, it gave me, I spent the first 45 minutes on the stage, on your own, telling a story. And it is frightening, because being put off is so easy. I remember I got put off by somebody who made a comment about what I'd said. And I was like, what did I say? And it threw your whole thinking, but you managed to work your way around it. But it was so powerful. It was such a powerful play that I never forget that.
You need amazing confidence levels to stand out there. It's not easy.
No. And again, predominantly then your audience was 60%, 70% European.
European at that point in time, yes.
Man, and they were picky.
Yes.
They were very picky.
Okay, so it's a great chapter of your life, isn't it?
It is a great chapter of my life, yes.
Let's move on. Now, Chairman of the Board of Trustees, Kids to Kids Children Rehabilitation.
Yes.
Tell us more about that.
I was there for a little while doing that, being on board of that, because it took up a lot of time, and for me it was good, because you are now doing something for somebody else, and you weren't really necessarily being paid for it, but it was just you were doing your contributing factor as a human being to other people. And kids seem to be like a good opportunity, because kids are always there.
I think at a certain point in life, it's not about monetary gains.
No.
It's what makes you feel good.
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Absolutely, yes.
And this must have felt really good, because you're helping all these children out there.
Oh, yes, it was wonderful. Absolutely wonderful.
Any experience, any advice you could give parents on how to relate with their children?
Wow. That's interesting, because I think in the world we were brought up in, and I think our parents are really partly to blame for this. Sorry, parents. Because they allowed the institutions to guide us along. But for some strange reason, as I grew up, you discovered that the kids were left on their own more often, and the parents played a smaller role, because they put they said they paid money to the schools to help these kids grow up. But no. That the role of the parent is so key. And I think as a society, we're suffering from that, because that parental guidance is not there for kids who are about 15, 16, 17. They're different kids. And ideally, the situation is we should maintain the guidance, the bringing up, the standards. Let the school just allow the school to guide. I know it's easier to let them go, but I think it's important that parents get closer to their children, because the children are picking up ulterior things. And now with the media being so broad, they're watching television, they're watching this, they're watching that. Unless you put a guiding hold on your children and guide them, even though they're getting all these things, because you can't be there all the time. I think it's so important as parents we spend time and spend time with our children, understanding them, guiding them, not allow them just to live their lives. I know that as parents they have challenges with finding work and being busy, but it's so critical. And I think some of the problems that we are experiencing now is because we ignored those roots when we needed to build those grounding roots in our children to be able to guide them and to be able to lead them.
Absolutely spot on.
Yes.
Like you said, the school has its role to play.
Yes.
But then the parents' role starts as well.
Of course.
You need to instill the morals, the values, the disciplines in them.
Absolutely.
And the time you get with them later,
Absolutely.
you need to concentrate. You can't just let go.
No, you can't.
You were absolutely spot on.
You can't.
Now, as we close, first and foremost, you're a great singer. And jazz is your forte, okay?
Yes.
You're across the board, you know. And I'll say, jack of all trades, huh? And master of all.
I am humbled. I am humbled. God has been gracious.
And as we close,
yes,
as a singer, we'd like you to drop us a verse from one of your favorite songs. Not just a verse, a couple of lines.
A couple of lines.
In your great voice, the Sam Madoka voice.
I'm going to do a song called Falling in Love with Jesus. It's a jazz song, but okay, here goes. Falling in love with Jesus, falling in love with Jesus, yes, falling in love with Jesus is the best thing that I've ever done.
Wow, awesome. I hear a bit of Louis Armstrong there, man. Next time you're going to do What a Wonderful World for Me.
Yeah. Yes.
It's been an extreme honor, pleasure, and I'm going to say it again. You still look very young, but you are an absolute legend.
I'm grateful. I thank God. He's been kind and loving to me, and I'm grateful.
And you're celebrating your birthday in a couple of days, huh?
In early February.
Early February.
Yes.
Happy birthday in advance.
Thank you very much.
All the best.
Thank
all
you.
the best.
Thank you.
May you have a healthy, happy, long life.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Sam.
All right.
It's been a pleasure hosting Sam Madoka, host of Easy Sunday on the KBC English service, a consultant, advertising, creative director, musician, and the man who gave us the painting of Laibon Lenana Olembatian that is found at the administration block of Lenana School. And can we forget his 80s show, This Is It, and his hosting of the charity auction, Ring Us Up. Asante sana, Sam, for being our guest. I'm Fayaz Qureshi. Thank you for watching.
Nimesahau kucheza Loto Moto. Usisahau kucheza Loto Moto. Shinda milioni 2 kila siku kwenye M-Pesa. Chagua lipa na M-Pesa. Paybill number 757070. Account number andika neno Loto. Kisha weka star na nambari yako ya simu. Weka kiwango chochote cha pesa kuanzia shilingi 50 hadi 2000.
Aulali.
Lipa kisha subiri draw. Welala. Nitakutimizia ndoto zako. Milioni 2 usiamini. Ujumbe huu umeidhinishwa na BCLB.
Stop searching in wrong places. Billions in unclaimed cash and other assets are here for you. Unclaimed financial assets include bank accounts, insurance policies, and other financial assets belonging to people just like you. Don't let your assets remain unclaimed. Take a few minutes to check and see if you have any unclaimed financial assets. Claiming your assets is easy. Simply visit www.ufaa.go.ke, dial *361# or visit Huduma Center near you. Labda umeomoka na ujui? The Unclaimed Financial Assets Authority. Receive, safeguard, reunite. Commodities Fund is a government agency under the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development mandated to provide low-cost financing to crop sector in Kenya. The fund informs clients, stakeholders, and members of the public in general that we have relocated our Nairobi offices from Railways headquarters to Utalii House 11th floor along Utalii Street off Uhuru Highway. As from 1st February 2023, our new postal address is Commodities Fund Utalii House 11th floor, Utalii Street off Uhuru Highway, PO Box 52714, code 00200 Nairobi, Kenya. For farms operations, agro-processing, value addition, working capital, access loans at an interest rate as little as 3% per annum.
Jumapili hii kwenye runinga ya KBC, ungana naye Askofu Michael Wanderi wa kanisa la Christian Foundation Fellowship Kiambu kuanzia saa 1 hadi saa 2 asubuhi.
Ningetaka nikwambie, our Jehovah God, because the Bible says he is the same yesterday, today and forevermore. He is able to take you to a place of abundance. He is able to take you to Rehoboth in the name of Jesus Christ.
Kipindi ni neno la neema, ukiletewa naye Askofu Michael Wanderi wa kanisa la Christian Foundation Fellowship Kiambu. Usikose. My trust is in you.
DNC mon chien voulard. Money Remix. Kanda Bongo Man Yo Cabana. Les professionnels DJ Rissel. Vanessa CBS, Getandaka, Aisha Okoko, la championne. Disco Box Alpha Kinkela, Jean-Marie Lutete, Oyoki Makeya Lozelengi, Levi Boki. Josar Nyoka Longo, Bob Lutete, Maître Siro, Dani Lunga, Mami Tumba, Richard Kabala, Johnny, Ngeni Bumi, Maître Dieu Massessa, Boss Nico, 3000 ans, Freddy Kuzuma, Makina Sikangoyo, le président Isabuki, allez au sommet André Kimbuta Yango, Christian Banzol, Eric Moffé, ingénieur Hubert, ingénieur Junior Kassanda.